we'll get a chance to expose these cars to folks who've not seen them. And that's really the big thing that makes, I think, an SRT special, is that once you feel it and touch it and smell it and put your hands on the wheel, that's when you really get passionate about it and start to understand what makes them so special. The cars are amazing, but the people that congregate around them are fantastic. My real-world example of this, I moved 1,000 miles away from when I grew up here in Detroit, moved down to the south. First thing I did was find the local car club, because I knew I instantly had a base of people who thought the way I do. My driving background, as far as performance driving, started in the mid-1990s. I began autocrossing, actually with the Detroit region SCCA, and kind of went from there. You know, you kind of get the bug for speed, and I started doing track days and got more competitive, and I got more into, I raced karts for many years, started racing sports cars. I've done a little bit of Formula car time, and then just recently I've played around with some stock cars over the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah, I grew up in Detroit, so you grow up as a fan of cars. I mean, it's hard not to be when you're in the Motor City. But yeah, even, you know, when I was just a kid, I mean, from something as simple as playing along with a Matchbox car, some Hot Wheels, you know, you kind of get those car guy fantasies. And you know what's really fun? My son is 4.5 years old now, and I'm passing it on to him, and he now knows the difference between all 3 pedals in the car. And I think that's really neat. I'm in my 40s now. Things are different. You know, I've got a wife and I've got a son, and I want all that performance, but I also respect a great ride and great balance and great engineering. And so I really like the 300. And the new 2012 is just that much more than the other cars.
I'm a third-generation driver. My grandparents drive. My parents, they actually met at a racetrack where their families competed against each other. So you can say racing is in my blood, and I started racing quarter midgets when I was 8 years old. I then proceeded into shifter cars. I've also raced midgets, 800 horsepower sprint cars, late model stock cars. I've tested in Formula style cars and a Camping World truck, so I've got a lot of seat time under my belt. Speed is my thing, that's for sure, so I'm really excited to be a part of the SRT High Performance Tour. We just got to see the vehicles for the first time, and they are all awesome, but the one that stands out most for me is going to be the Challenger 392. I have driven it once, and that was at the Z-Max dragway in the parking lot where I was learning how to drift. And I remember stepping on the gas for the first time and thinking, wow, I gotta have one of these. Well, over the next 4 months, we're going to be hitting up over 40 different clubs and events, so we're obviously going to be meeting a lot of people out on the road. And these people, they share the same passion as us. They eat, sleep, breathe cars, and I'm really looking forward to hearing their stories, seeing the cars that they bring out to the events, and sharing our experiences with them.
Out of the 2012 lineup, the Jeep is probably my favorite. The looks, the styles, and the fact that it tows is a great option. Plus, it's got all the horsepower that all the other SRTs have. It's gonna be tough deciding who drives which vehicle. I'm gonna try and claim the Jeep as much as possible. If not, I mean, I'll take any of the other ones. They're all great vehicles.
I've been around racing my entire life. I grew up in Winston-Salem, so Bowman Gray, every Saturday night we went, been going to races and NASCAR events since before I can remember. So it's always been a part of my life, always been around the cars. Right now the Charger, it's got some sentimental value for me. My grandfather is a big Dodge fan, big Charger fan. He had a couple of Chargers during his life, and so it means a lot to my daddy as well, and kind of a daddy's girl, leaning toward that one. The SRT fans and clubs, they're a very elite group, and even though we're going to different places all around the country, the people are going to be the same, and they're as passionate about these cars as we are, and they're excited for these cars, and being able to meet them and see their excitement is I can't wait. I'm ready for it.